Okay, hey everyone, welcome to this Zoom call with the amazing hostesses for the upcoming Talk to the Entities classes and Zoom calls. Woohoo! How does it get better than this? So, how much weirder can we get? And actually, how much more empowered can we get? So, we wanted to put this call together because we just wanted to really, I personally wanted to talk about, like, why would anybody in their right mind want to even take a Talk to the Entities class? So let me introduce my lovely host. We have Betsy McLaughlin from Maryland. Woo!
Hello, hello.
We have Sherry Jurgensen from Pennsylvania.
Hello, hello.
Okay, and those two ladies will be hosting the Maryland class coming up in May. And then we have the beautiful Maggie Emerson in Colorado. And we'll be doing a class there in June. And my lovely assistant, Teresa Thompson. Woohoo! All right. And then we have a whole bunch of other classes too in Saskatoon, Canada, and Paris in Germany. So how does it get any better? But anyway, so why would anybody in their right mind want to take any kind of entities class whatsoever? Well, that was my point of view 6 years ago when I started Access Consciousness. For those of you who don't know me at all, I'm Dr. Anthony Mattis, and my late wife committed suicide. She had bipolar disorder, manic depression. We tried everything under the sun. When I asked her why she was trying to kill herself, she basically said she sees demons. And I'm like, okay, cool. And she managed to say that the demons were inside of her. And I basically said, well, if you kill the demon, you go for the ride. You realize that. And the kids don't have a mother, and I don't have a wife. I lose my best friend, and life is going to be very challenging. So that wasn't enough for her to say, you know what, I'm checking out. Your lives will be better without me. And so she decided to leave. So that sort of left me in like, oh, what the fuck do I do? How do I do this in my life? But so I literally was on my knees, and I'm like, okay, I need answers. And as many of you know, in Access, it's not about finding answers. It's about asking questions to, create the life that we desire. But in all actuality, over the last 6 years, I have found a lot of the answers or the reasons why she chose what she chose. And so now, knowing what I know, because of Access Consciousness and the Talking to the Entity tools, I realized that she had like megatons of entity awareness. Okay. And now, I'm not someone who sees ghosts. There are people out there who may be listening that see ghosts and stuff and spirits. Awesome. You will love these classes. Okay. If anything, it will sharpen your sword to increase your capacity even tenfold. All right. And so my point of view was like, well, why would I need to take these classes? Because initially I only wanted to take them because I wanted Shannon to talk to my dead wife. And I wanted to know like why she killed herself and all that stuff, and like screwed me over kind of thing. And I wasn't really there to learn the tools. And I remember being in the class and I'm listening to the different tools and all that. I'm like this the whole time. I'm like, yeah, bullshit. How do I know it's not like Santa Claus or like Adam and Eve, or it's just some mythological bullshit, learning about Greek gods and all that other stuff or whatever. And I'm like, this is bullshit. So I'm like, I don't see ghosts. This is not a capacity. My capacity is for bodies. My capacity is for energy work. And I'm just going to be a great bars facilitator, body facilitator, and energy work. And that's it. Fuck the whole entity thing. So anyway, fast forward 5 years later, I'm like asking a question. What would it take for my sessions to get stronger, more powerful, more potent? What would it take for my facilitation and classes become stronger and more potent? Because I felt like I had hit a plateau with regards to facilitation and energy work. And so I started asking questions, and boom, Talk to the Entity showed up again. And I'm like, no, I don't have a capacity in this area. Well, I'm not doing this. And then it kept showing. And then I started texting Gary. And Gary's like, you do have a capacity. Just because you can't see them, it doesn't mean you're not aware of them. And I started thinking about what my late wife was saying to me. And then I started reflecting on a lot of patients that I had over the last 20 years as a chiropractor, people that I've worked with when doing ASB sessions, and energy work, where there was always this awareness like, wow, I think they're struggling with demons, you know? And so I decided to take the Talk to the Entities classes again. And oh my God, it like this whole universe opened up to me that didn't open up to me 5 years ago when I had like the shitty bad attitude. And I'm like, and like my sessions got stronger, my facilitation in classes got stronger. I was able to perceive things on a level that, if it's not even a level, I was able to, like, let's just say, like, I walked into these doorways, and then there were more doorways of possibilities and awarenesses. It was like a tsunami of awareness with regards to everything: money, sex, relationships, health, issues with people with bodies. And I'm like, this is so much fun. And I'm like, who, the last person on the world that I thought would be facilitating Talk to the Entities was me. And ever since I started facilitating this work, I'm telling you, universes upon universes upon universes have opened up to me. And when I would have like funky days, when I actually started using the one tool that we learn in Access Consciousness, we ask, who does this belong to? The who does this belong to took on a whole different meaning. And it wasn't just about, oh, this is my neighbor's, or my typical default would be, oh, this is my mom's. No, it was like, oh, I'm aware of the earth and the land. I'm aware of the spirits that used to take care of the earth and the land here. Oh, I'm aware of somebody from 8,000 miles away. Or there's a bunch of entities trying to give me information. And I'm just so thick-headed, I'm not willing to listen. And guess what happens when we're not willing to listen? We get entity awareness symptoms. How fun. And that can show up by depression. That can show up by melancholia, which is sort of like a form of depression, I guess. That can show up of like, you can't get out of bed in the morning. You feel like you got ran over by a truck, a Mack truck, right? That could show up with pains in your bodies, different kinds of pains, anxiety, paranoia. So if you're like freaking out, guess what? It's not yours. And so when I really got present with my thoughts, feelings, and emotions, instead of just going into my normal little pity party thing that I'll do for like a few days, I actually got really super present, and I actually started communicating with the entities, literally using the tools. And literally within 12 hours, either pains in my bodies would dissipate like that, or whatever those intense, ugly thoughts, feelings, and emotions were happening at that time, gone within 12 hours. And I literally, you can perceive almost like the neural pathways in your brain going, and it was like, and literally like the atmosphere would become lighter. So for whatever it's worth, if you're someone who has all those different types of things, even money, if you want a better sex life, these are great reasons why to take the Talk to the Entities classes, the beginner's class, and then the upcoming Zoom class we have called Communicating with Entities, which is an intro. It's not an intro, but it counts as an intro to the beginner's class. And there's so much information in the Communicating with Entities, because it's not just about clearing them and making them leave. Guess what? There's an infinite amount of them. You can't make them all go away. Sorry. Quit trying to do that. You can't make them all go away. They won't. They're like kids. When they're hungry, they're like, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I don't care if you're having sex right now. I'm hungry. What are you doing, mommy? Or it's like, if you have a dog or a cat, it's like, it's not going to leave you alone. It's going to follow you around because it's hungry. The same thing with entities. Sometimes they want to communicate with you. Sometimes they want something from you. Sometimes they want to gift something to you. Okay. And they're not going to leave you alone until you acknowledge them. So there's 3 basic things we do with entities. We clear them when appropriate. We communicate or acknowledge, and we receive. That's it. And that's what these classes are really about. It's clearing, communicate, receiving. So ask yourselves this one amazing question. How much easier and more joyful, which I know a lot of you people don't want more joy in your life, but how much easier would your life be if you were able to actually have these tools right here? If you're struggling in any sort of kind of way, these tools will change your whole reality. And for some of you, it may even save your life or someone you love's life. Now, they have to choose it. Okay, you can't just give them a tool and like they get all better. No, they have to choose. If it's someone you love that's struggling, they still have to choose. At the end of the day, they have choice. They have to choose whether or not to get present with the tools and choose for them. But if you could tell, I'm like really excited about this stuff, because it's like, when I tell you I was the last person on planet Earth to be messing with the entity stuff, I was. I thought it was bullshit. And you know what? It's not. It's information that's so incredibly valuable that it will change every area of your life if you get super present with the tools. Now, I can promise you, I can even guarantee you that. I can't guarantee you when it will do that all for you, but I can guarantee it will change every facet of your life if you use the tools the way you're supposed to. And at the end of the day, it's just choice. So that's sort of it. It's like, why should I take this? It's not just for people who see ghosts. It's for everyone who has all those issues that I talked about, but really at the end of the day, who wants to make their lives better? Period. In any area. Money, sex, relationships, health. All right? More consciousness. So anyway, so that's my thing. I'm excited about it. You know, we encourage you to come play. Ladies, do you have anything to say? Sherry, when I invited you to do this, like 6 months ago, you're like, no fucking way. I'm not doing it. I know I have a capacity for this, but I ain't going near it. And then now you're in a different place. Can you kind of talk about like where you were then and like where you are now?
Sure. As a kid, I did see ghosts or people and am very aware of it all. But I was told not to, or that I had an overactive imagination, or, you know, that's not true. So I kind of shut it down. But in shutting it down, it gave me this huge fear of the dark, and I won't go to haunted houses, like all that kind of stuff. I've totally limited that part of my life. And I had a lot of fear. And yes, 6 months ago you asked me, and I went running the other direction. I was like, nope, 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 not doing it. And then recently, I did your communicating, the one before that you had recently. And I started listening to that. And that was just, I've listened to it a bunch of times. And it has really created a whole new awareness around. Even the word entity doesn't have the intensity that it had for me. Like, and now it means, it means so many other things. It's energy intensities or different things. And then I was so excited after doing the communicating with you, I ended up taking Shannon's beginning course that she just did in 2018, right now. She just ended it. Oh my God.
Totally.
So it does. It opens up your awareness. When I get that heaviness now, I'm like, all right, who wants to talk to me? You know, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, and it does. It's like, what am I aware of right now?
And here's the cute thing about it is like you were someone who did see ghosts and stuff like that, and you still avoided it like the Black Plague. I was someone who didn't see ghosts, and I was aware of energies in the room, but I didn't like see things like maybe at the corner of my eye, maybe at the most, but then sometimes I would see those like little grids throughout the atmosphere. I could see, but not like ghost itself, you know? And it's like, yeah, for your regular, average, non-esoteric person, like these tools will change your whole reality. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
So, and I'm more happy. My sex life is better. Money's coming in. Like I received so much more because I wasn't limiting myself to all that fear. It was like stopping me from receiving. So now I'm like open and I'm like, yeah, bring it on, everybody. So it's been amazing. So yeah, I highly recommend it.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Any ladies, Maggie or Betsy, have something to say? And Teresa too?
I'm super excited because it's always been, there's been an awareness of entities for me, but it's always been, they're there.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, let's learn to actually like, it's, I can receive from them. What would that be like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And when we keep them in our periphery, that's it makes things more difficult for us. And the more that we study things like in the realm of consciousness, especially with access, you're basically saying yes to the whole entity. You can't have consciousness and not be aware of entities. So when we ignore them, that actually can make things difficult for us.
I've discovered that.
So anyway, cool. Thanks for sharing that. Awesome. Hey, Betsy, do you want to?
Yeah, sure. For me, so I also shut down a lot of my capacities when I was younger, and I was told that what I knew and what I heard was impossible. And I believed it all. So I shut it all down. And just for me, I've been in Access about 5.5 years. And as I've learned and grown and asked a lot of questions, I took the entities class kind of early on. And I know that now I'm in a much different space where I can receive even more than I've already been receiving. And for me, it's just like playing with them and communicating with them and including them in my life, as opposed to like, stay away, right? And the enormous contribution it's already been, and I feel like I know, about this much of what I'm actually aware of. So I'm really looking forward to diving back in with complete, like you said, like when you're in a space where you can totally receive it, and it's not like kind of from peeking out behind the corner, but actually saying, yeah, I've got these capacities, and what can I do with them? How can I, exponentialize my life and include everything that I know in with them? So for me, I don't see them, at least not yet. And it really doesn't matter, like if I ever do or if I don't, but I hear them and I very much have awarenesses of them. And
Awesome.
when I ignore them, I start getting some kind of, either I want to kill people or like just get really irritable, or I will start getting like physical things, so I'm like, oh wait, is this somebody trying to talk to me? And most of the time it is. So then when I start communicating either with the earth or with the spirits or with entities or beings or whatever, it like lightens up immediately, like you were talking about. So super excited. And we really hope that you guys will join us with Anthony online for the March 6th Zoom call, and then in Maryland in May, or in Colorado in June. And like we've got 3 airports right by us in the DC metro area. And we're looking forward to playing with you guys, or Anthony play with him wherever in the world, it's light and fun for you. So thank you for inviting us on this Zoom with you.
Yes, thanks everyone. And anybody have anything else to say? Because we don't want to keep our listeners long. No? All right, Teresa, you can go back to bed. I know it's like 7 a.m. for you. All right, well, thanks for listening, everyone. And we hope to see you soon. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.